Each year, police worldwide report an astounding number of 800,000 unexplained incidents. This shocking statistic is not just a number, but a testament to the inexplicable mysteries that baffle our world. Incidents that are not merely crimes left unsolved, but occurrences that leave even the most seasoned investigators scratching their heads, questioning the very fabric of logic and reason. These are not just your regular whodunit cases. These are stories that defy explanation, narratives that challenge our understanding of the world as we know it. From the icy stretches of Siberia to the sun-baked plains of Africa, from the bustling metropolises of the Americas to the serene landscapes of Asia, these enigmas are a global phenomenon, transcending borders and cultures. In the heart of Uzbekistan in 2006, motorists reported a terrifying entity that leapt onto their vehicles, pounding and shaking them violently before disappearing back into the wilderness. The police, upon investigation, found unidentifiable footprints and a nauseating stench. But what kind of creature could have caused such horror? Fast forward to 2008 in Mexico City. A woman's desperate screams for help led the police to an empty house, with nothing but a trail of blood and scratches on the floor suggesting a violent struggle. The trail ended inexplicably at a mirror, leaving more questions than answers. In Romania, a gruesome discovery of 6 young campers, drained of blood with peculiar bite marks on their necks, left authorities baffled. It was as if the life had been sucked out of them, their bodies left disturbingly dry. In Tanzania in 2012, an abandoned house echoed with violent screams and the sounds of objects being hurled around. Despite being locked from the inside, the police found nothing but shattered wood, metal and broken glass. No perpetrator was in sight. No evidence of forced entry was found. Today we delve into some of these eerie, unsolved mysteries from around the globe. Join us as we journey through the labyrinth of the unexplained, the inexplicable, and the downright terrifying. This is not just a trip into the unknown, it's a glimpse into the very heart of mystery itself. In the remote corners of Uzbekistan, an isolated road became the stage for a chilling encounter in 2006. Travelers reported a terrifying figure emerging from the wilderness, leaping onto the roofs of passing vehicles with violent force. The figure pounded and shook the vehicles as if trying to demolish them. Then a spine-chilling scream would echo, and as suddenly as it appeared, the figure would retreat back into the forest. The local police, responding to the frightened calls, investigated the area. They discovered footprints that defied explanation, along with a lingering foul stench. But the traces left behind raised more questions than answers. What kind of creature could have left such marks? What could have produced such a smell? Despite their best efforts, the police were unable to solve the mystery. The incident left a lasting impression on those who experienced it and those who heard about it. This eerie occurrence remains a perplexing mystery to this day. In 2008, a frantic call led Mexican police to a house of horrors. A chilling scream had shattered the stillness of the night, a woman pleading for help. The responding officers found themselves in a macabre scene. A house seemingly abandoned, save for a trail of blood that painted a terrifying picture. As if dragged by an unseen force, the scratches on the floor followed the blood trail, leading the officers to a shocking discovery. This trail, a crimson path of terror, ended abruptly at a mirror. No woman, no assailant, just a mirror reflecting the horrified faces of the officers. The absence of a logical explanation left them in a state of bafflement, wrestling with the eerie mystery. What had transpired in this house? Whose blood had been spilled and where had they vanished? A woman's desperate cries for help, a trail of blood, and a mirror holding unspeakable secrets. Unsettling questions that remain unanswered to this day. In the dense forests of Romania, a camping trip turned deadly for 6 young college students. It was an idyllic setting where laughter and stories once filled the air. But the jovial atmosphere quickly turned into a scene of horror. The bodies of the 6 students were discovered, lifeless and eerily dry, as if every drop of blood had been drained from them. Adding to the chilling scene were the bite marks found on each of their necks, as though some predatory creature had feasted on them. The local police were baffled, their investigation leading to dead ends and more questions than answers. Some speculated about wild animals, yet no animal in those woods could inflict such peculiar wounds. Others whispered about the folklore of the region, tales of creatures of the night. To this day, the case remains unresolved. A chilling tale of lifeless bodies, mysterious bite marks, and a silent forest that holds the terrifying truth. In 2012, Tanzanian police were summoned to a scene straight out of a horror movie. In the heart of the night, a cacophony of frightening screams and the sounds of objects being hurled across rooms echoed from an abandoned house, terrorizing the neighborhood. Authorities arrived, prepared for a showdown, but what they found was a chilling sight. Shattered wood, twisted metals, broken glass, all strewn across the house, evidence of a violent disturbance, yet not a single soul was in sight. An eerie silence had replaced the earlier chaos. Bafflingly, the house was locked front and back with no signs of forced entry. It was as if the house had contained its own storm. The officers searched high and low, but no perpetrator was found. The incident left a trail of unanswered questions. Who or what had caused such a disturbance? Why was the house locked? An abandoned house, violent disturbances, and a mystery that remains locked away. In 2014, a young woman met a gruesome end in Japan, leaving authorities puzzled. A life full of promise was abruptly extinguished in her own apartment. She was alone, or so it seemed, as security footage showed her entering her home solo just prior to the incident. But the circumstances of her demise were far from ordinary. What left investigators scratching their heads was the nature of her injuries. Her head was nearly severed from her body, an act of violence so extreme that it defied comprehension. No weapon or tool that could inflict such damage was found on the premises. It was as if an unseen force had torn her apart. Despite their best efforts, the authorities found no leads. No suspects emerged from their inquiries. No motive was discernible, and no logical explanation could be found for the grisly scene. A life cut short, a mystery left unsolved, and an unseen force at play. In 2009, a police chase in Brazil took a terrifying turn. A group of 42 elite officers from the special unit known as BOPE were hot on the heels of 6 high-value favela gang members. Their pursuit led them to the heart of the mountains, where an unexpected confrontation awaited. Suddenly, amidst the echoes of gunfire, the officers came face to face with 2 massive, wolf-like creatures. These beasts had their claws and fangs sunk into the gang members, slashing and gnawing as if they were mere prey. The officers responded with a hail of bullets, killing one of the creatures and managing to rescue 2 of the gang members barely alive. The 4 remaining gang members, however, were reduced to a scene too gruesome to describe. This chilling incident was swiftly swept under the rug, hidden from public knowledge. The creature, referred to as a lobisomem in Brazilian folklore, was discreetly removed by the authorities. A high-speed chase, a monstrous encounter, and a truth too terrifying to be revealed. In 2019, Australian police encountered a scene that defied gravity and reason. On a routine patrol, 2 officers noticed a peculiar sight. A teenage boy and girl sprinting with wide-eyed terror etched across their faces. Not far behind them, a sight that would make even the bravest take pause. A woman seemingly suspended in midair, floating with an eerie calmness that starkly contrasted with the surrounding chaos. The officers, seasoned in their line of work, are taken aback by the surreal scene. Their training had prepared them for a myriad of situations, but the sight of a floating woman was not one they had anticipated. Their minds raced to make sense of the anomaly before them. Was this a trick of the light, an elaborate hoax, or something far more inexplicable? The immediate concern was the safety of the terrified teenagers. The officers quickly approached them, offering reassurances and guiding them to the safety of their patrol car. The floating woman remained motionless, her presence a chilling mystery that hung in the air as palpably as she did. A thorough investigation was launched in the following days. The police interviewed the teenagers, combed the area for any possible clues, and even consulted experts in various fields, hoping to find a rational explanation. The teenagers' testimonies were consistent. They had seen the woman levitating, her feet never touching the ground. But despite their best efforts, the police found no evidence of foul play or any technological trickery. The floating woman of 2019 remains a chilling mystery. The incident, while unique to Australia, is yet another testament to the inexplicable phenomena that law enforcement officers encounter globally. It reminds us that the world is full of mysteries that defy our understanding and challenge our perceptions. In the face of the unexplainable, even the law is left searching for answers. From supernatural entities to unexplained deaths, these incidents leave us questioning the limits of our understanding. The chilling case from Uzbekistan in 2006, where an eerie figure emerged from the darkness, leaving behind an unidentifiable footprint and a foul smell. The haunting episode in Mexico City, 2008, with a phantom woman's plea for help and a trail of blood leading to a mirror. The grim discovery in Romania, where 6 young campers were found drained of blood. The puzzling incident in Tanzania, 2012, of a locked house filled with chaos and no signs of forced entry. The mysterious death in Japan, 2014, of a woman whom CCTV showed entering her apartment alone. The terrifying encounter in Brazil, 2009, of beast-like figures attacking a group of men. And the eerie sighting in Australia, 2019, of a woman floating in the air. In a world full of mysteries, the search for truth continues. Stay curious, stay vigilant,